I am starting to look more and more like my mother. And as I celebrated my birthday, I realized that soon I'll be the age my mother was when she had me. Soon I'll not only see hints of my mom in the mirror, but will actually recognize her in myself as I close the age when I already knew her. She's an incredible artist. In a way, it's poetic and also timely that I just started identifying with her as I start my artist journey again. She has a way of grabbing the intangible and, better yet, placing it on a canvas. I remember she would pause a movie at a moment that spoke to her, and in just a matter of minutes, would sketch just a couple lines, but they relayed the emotion of the scene perfectly. She was, and still is in a lot of ways, truly capable of grabbing the intangible. Growing up with her, I learned how important it was to surround yourself with these little mirrors. Mirrors that remind you of a certain feeling or emotion. Mirrors into a new dimension in a way. As I grew up and my adult life got harder and the world got darker, I began to miss these underestimated specks of life, these mirrors in my room that once surrounded me. Because how are we supposed to grow without motivation or even whimsy? Last year, I finally said, enough is enough. I decided to strengthen my art skills and paint these mirrors just like my mom used to. And with the help of social media, perhaps get these little mirrors all across the globe to people who would need it even more than I do. And that's when it clicked. At that moment last year, when I said enough is enough, I suddenly felt like Anton Ego from Ratatouille when he flashed back to his childhood self in an instant. I finally saw my whole life boil down to that 1 second. So let's rewind a bit. It was a rainy, foggy afternoon in Budapest, Hungary, and little Emma was 4 years old. She looked at the gray sky, the mud, the wet concrete, the blockhouse she grew up in, and thought, this is the prettiest the world has ever been. She would frolic on sunny days, talking to the flowers and the fairies under the weeping willow tree. On rainy days, she would draw. As I grew up, I always had a creative outlet, a massive one at that. Whether it be music, writing, crochet, that doesn't even matter, but it was always massive. I applied to design schools. I even got accepted. Then I got told to go into business for the money, as all artists do at one point of their life, but I actually listened. And that's when everything went downhill. Suddenly, I was working and studying and becoming the adult I had to be, and that outlet got narrower and narrower until it finally disappeared. I'm ashamed to admit it, but it disappeared for a long time. Years. Bringing you back to a year ago when I saw my mom in the mirror and I made the decision that enough is enough, but this epiphany was weighed down by the consequences of my decisions and my rusty dusty fingers. I had to catch up while pushing 30. Spice this with a touch of fear, imposter syndrome, and a monthly cycle, and you got yourself a recipe for success, if you choose to see it that way. For a year, I've refused to look away from that mirror. Not the one that I was in, but the one I decided to paint. With everything I had at hand. The mirror that led me to this other dimension of reality, one to which I'd like to contribute to. So what actually happened this past year? I'll follow my mom's footsteps and try to grasp the intangible for a second. Sometimes all that happens in a year is you go back to your roots. You're walking a path that you've actually walked before, but is now barely visible because it's grown over. Sometimes you just touch around in the dark and try to feel something familiar, instead of trekking a brand new path ahead. And apart from my milestones, both artistic and small business related, the most important thing that happened this year was finding peace in my person and my speed in which I grow. The winter might have been a long and cold one, but the seeds I planted at the young age of 4 have finally seen the sun. And I can't wait to show you more of where this sprout will lead. So if you'd like to tag along for the journey, I welcome you to this little corner of the internet where I most clumsily find my way to the person I wish to become. Thank you for listening and taking time out of your day to spend with me.